So it doesn't matter if it was a byproduct of abuse, of trauma, of someone doing this to you or telling this to you. At the end of the day, the story was written, and therefore the belief systems were established, negative, and therefore the false identity was created, and therefore you go through life looking for evidence to reinforce that false identity. What if you can take that pen back and start writing the new story? Like, what if tomorrow you decide that I'm going to do everything that someone with the identity of deserving of abundance, success, happiness, great health, abs, jacked, right? I'm going to write the story of someone who just deserves absolutely everything. Your past is not your future. You can heal. You can get past your traumas. You can fall back in love with the person that you are. You can inspire. You can influence. You can make more money. You can have greater meaning. You don't have to be depressed. You don't have to be addicted. You don't have to have the vices, but you do have to do the work. And when you do, you will take that pen back and start rewriting the next version of yourself. You get to decide what the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years look like. No one else. I had a fucked up life, but I don't want to tell you that. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do next, and I'm going to go out and do it. That is what self-development is about. That is what peak performance is about. That is what breaking through self-limiting beliefs is about. Is rewriting the story, because as long as you have breath in your lungs, as long as your heart is beating, as long as you have consciousness in your mind, you can go and rewrite the story of how your life ends. Life comes to you in seasons. It comes to you with winning seasons and losing seasons. It's just a given. In fact, one of the best quotes I ever heard from Tony Robbins was this. He said, "Prepare for winter. Winter is coming. And I want you to be built for winter." And I thought that was such a powerful quote from Tony, because no matter how awesome and amazing your life is right now, odds are someone's going to die. Someone's getting in a car accident. You're probably going to get injured, hurt, or sick. Or someone that you love will get injured, hurt, or sick. There might be a financial crisis that takes place. Like, there is a losing season coming. Now, the biggest thing I can tell you is don't actively try and promote a losing season in your life. Don't create bad times. Don't create bad seasons for yourself, knowing that life is going to create winning seasons and losing seasons anyway. So if you know that you're in a winning season, celebrate it. Do everything you can to maintain order, structure, and discipline to elongate that winning season. But know, as Tony Robbins says, that winter is coming. There is a losing season around the corner. And if you have order and structure and discipline in your life, you have routines, you have rituals, you have order, structure, discipline, when the losing season comes, not if it comes, when the losing season comes, it will be shorter in duration and not as severe in terms of impact. But the losing season is coming. And guys, I'm here to tell you that if you are experiencing a losing season right now, understand that there's a winning season around the corner. But you have to be an active participant in getting yourself out of the losing season. Like, if you have ambitions of being white collar, or you have ambitions of being a baller, you have ambitions of being whatever the fuck you want to be, go for that and surround yourself with people who are that, and raise your standards to really high standards. I would rather you set your sights not on the moon, but on the stars, because in the process of shooting for the stars, you will hit the moon, guaranteed. But in the process of shooting for the moon, you might completely miss it and hit nothing. Right? So the most damaging thing you can do in life is to set low standards and then to achieve those low standards. Set yourself some high standards, like raise your expectations. Don't just go, I'm gonna make enough money where I'm set. Wow, really? That's a really selfish statement. I'm gonna make enough money where I'm set. What about if your parents get sick? What about if your kids want to go to college? What about if you want to help your family out with their bills? What about if you want to donate more to your church? What about if your church caught on fire and burnt down and you want to help them rebuild it? You can't. You only made enough money for you to be set, you selfish right? But if you set higher standards, then guess what happens? Your cuppeth overfloweth. But when your cup overflows because you set high standards and you achieve those high standards, and guess what? You can do more, you can be more, you can help more. And isn't that really the meaning of life, to be in service of others? It absolutely is. Energy flows where focus goes. And if I want to focus on my health and fitness, like if that's a priority to me, then I have to make it my center of focus. If I want to make a lot of money and have generational wealth and financial freedom. I have to make it my focus. The 4 pillars of focus are faith, family, fitness, and finances. If we're focused on those 4 things and consistently working on those 4 things, we have a life of fulfillment. You got to ditch your loser friends. If your loser friends don't want to level up, if they're not interested in becoming higher level, if they're not interested in evolving, if they're not interested in the aspirations that you have and the goals and life mission that you have, and you realize that they are low tone, low energy, they're holding you down, they're limiting your growth, and you tried to help them, it is time to ditch them. Simple as that. When you go on that mission to upgrade yourself, to become the 2.0 version of yourself, to become the next highest version of the man that you're meant to be, that is threatening, that is scary to the people around you for 2 reasons. 1, they don't know this version of you anymore. They can't relate to you. Number 2, they see their shortcomings. They know that they should be transcending to the 2.0 version, and they are threatened by you because they know that they ought to be leveling up, they ought to be trying harder, they ought to be doing more, but they're not. They choose to still work their 9 to 5s. They choose to still stay fat. They choose to still stay broke. They choose to still stay emotional. They choose to wear another man's name on their jersey on the weekends, to wear it on their back and root for a sports team that they don't own, that they don't have equity in, that they don't get profits from, because that is the average man's journey in life, right? If you're the type of person who wants to win in life, odds are you're not doing enough. Like the winners that I know in the world do more than they ever thought they needed to do. In other words, they bring a nuclear bomb to a gunfight. When in reality, average people, they expect to have a winner's outcome, but they bring a water pistol to a gunfight. Do you understand the difference? I would rather bring a nuclear bomb to a gunfight than a water pistol to a gunfight. So you're not doing enough. Like the winners that I know always feel that they're behind. The winners that I know always feel like they should have done more at the end of the day, even though they worked harder than everyone else around them. The winners that I know always feel they're behind, that they should have done more than they did that day, that they could have achieved more, they could have made more, they could have added more value, right? And that is a mindset that you can develop. That is not some kind of innate trait that I have or other people have that you don't have. You can develop that by setting higher standards for yourself.